Hello everybody, sorry if you can hear cars driving, but it is 3 o'clock, so everyone's going home from work and we live along a road essentially. Excuse the different scenery as well and the fan over here, but I just feel like sitting on the couch because yeah, I do not want to see what's over there. It's crazy. As you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to talk about things that I hope to do differently with baby number 2. I say hope because I learned from having Alina that things just change. So things don't go to plan. You may hear people talk as well, kids finishing school. So sorry, but I just feel like sitting here right now. Yeah, so with Alina, I did a lot of things I thought I would never do, that I said I would never do. So that's why I say I hope to do with baby number 2, if you know what I mean. I've listed 8 things that I plan to do differently, so I'm just going to get straight to it. Essentially, the first one I'll just get out of the way is taking more tummy pictures and embracing my tummy more, and taking pictures that I can actually share on social media when I'm not pregnant anymore, because I found that when I wasn't pregnant anymore with Alina, I missed my bump, but I didn't have that many photos that I could share on social media because I was very insecure. I didn't really like my bump at the time, but then I missed it when it was gone. So this time I made sure that I embraced it more, took more photos, and tried to just not be insecure. That's not really about baby number 2 though, that's more about pregnancy. But anyway, I just threw that in there. The next thing I hope to do is incorporate breastfeeding and bottle feeding as well. With Alina, I did do it a couple of times here and there, but not a lot. I got lazy to breast pump essentially, but this time I'm hoping to get this like silicone letdown bottle. I think it's by the Tommee Tippee brand, so I hope to purchase that soon, hopefully this weekend, since I could be having the baby anytime. So yeah, I hope to have that, because with Alina, when I would nurse her, I would have to put, this is very TMI, but I would have to put a towel in my other boob to avoid it going on my clothes, especially if I was out. So I would always have to carry a spare little wash towel or hand towel with us everywhere we went to catch all the letdown. So this time with this bottle that I hope to get, it's not a bottle, I don't know what it's called, but I'll put a picture here, but essentially it's for letdown. So when I'm nursing, I'll have that on the other boob to collect all the excess milk that we could store away in the fridge, and then therefore we always have breast milk available, and I wouldn't have to worry about pumping, because I got really lazy on pumping, and that's why I ended up just breastfeeding her, because it was just easier to do essentially. But the reason why I want to incorporate breastfeeding and bottle fed is so that when the time comes and I want to stop breastfeeding, it won't be so hard to get him on the bottle, because with Alina it was really hard to get her to take a bottle. I would try everything. So yeah, it's not because I want to be able to go out and leave the baby with someone and then they can feed him. That's not the reason. I actually love feeding him. I think that's a special bond between the mother and the child. I don't really want anyone else doing it unless they need to, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm purely doing it so then it's easy to wean him off the boob in the future. The next one that I want to do is encouraging gentle self-soothing and having the baby sleep in his own bed. I didn't know there was gentle self-soothing, and even so, I don't really think it really is gentle self-soothing, but at least it's not crying out method. So I didn't do that with Alina, and she pretty much spent her entire life in bed with us and still is in bed with us. The first week or 2 when we came home, she was in her cot a few times, but she always ended up in our bed. The first 2 weeks is like the hardest ever, so we were sleep deprived as it is, and having her in our bed just, you know, made it easier for us. But hopefully this time I plan to not always hold him to sleep and snuggling him as much as I love snuggles. Alina is a very snuggly toddler. She loves, that's how she sleeps. She snuggles to sleep. Sometimes I may not be in the mood for it. It could be because I'm pregnant, so I'm already just, you know, uncomfortable. But yeah, with this baby I do hope to encourage self-soothing and not hold him all the time when it comes to him, you know, going to sleep. And when he is asleep, put him down straight away, as much as I want to hold him all the time. I'm sure I'm gonna want to, but I really hope that I can encourage self-soothing so that he can, you know, go to sleep by himself. With Alina, I have to lie down with her until she falls asleep. So yeah, this time I want to encourage this baby to go to sleep by himself, and then also sleeping in his own bed, so in his cot. We are going to keep Alina in our bed. We don't have space to buy, you know, a bassinet or another cot or anything like that, and there's no point in putting Alina in the cot and getting her used to the cot but then having the baby in our bed, because then he will just get used to being in our bed. So it just makes more sense to keep her in our bed because she's already used to it, and try and get the baby used to being in the cot from day dot. Another one which is very important, which it just always grills me about, is with this baby I gotta avoid feeding to sleep. So with Alina, it happened by accident. I didn't do it for the purpose of getting her to sleep. It just happened because, like I said, sleep deprived, you're tired. I end up falling asleep, and then she ends up falling asleep on my boob. So that was kind of how she would go to sleep for a very, very long time, up until I was able to wean her off the boob. Once we weaned her off the boob, the whole cuddling thing is what started. So the whole only being able to fall asleep cuddling happened after weaning her off the boob. Before that, she would fall asleep being fed to sleep. So with this baby, I hope to not do that. Tummy time. So I've always known about tummy time. I tried doing it with Alina, but it just would always make me feel like I shouldn't because she's too little, even though I know you can't encourage tummy time from day one. And this time I really do want to make sure that I just ignore it. Anyone's opinions about tummy time, other than the fact that if it's encouraging to do tummy time, and hopefully his development will be a lot more faster than Alina's. The next one I really hope to do that I knew about as well is self-weaning. Is that what it's called? No, it can't be self-weaning, but essentially I want to encourage independent feeding with this baby when he's on solids. With Alina, I did do that, but Idris would always complain about food wastage and all that stuff, and then, you know, I would start to listen to him, even though I knew what I was doing was, you know, right. But now Alina is 2 and we still need to feed her. When in my family our kids were feeding themselves at 2, I see, you know, Delilah and Lepke's life. Her 3-year-old, she feeds herself, and she's been feeding herself since solids. And her youngest one as well, Theo, he's just recently turned 1 and he even feeds himself. Yeah, I really want to ensure that this baby, you know, is feeding himself, so then he's able to eat properly and feed himself, basically. It's nothing more to it. Next thing is allowing baby to be more independent. Alina is not very independent. It is partially our fault. We are a bit of a helicopter parents, I suppose. I don't know if it's because she's a girl or because she's our first, or both, but we always made sure she wouldn't hurt herself and she was careful, and I think that really bit us in the ass because now she's just very dependent on us. She doesn't, like, we went to a cafe this past weekend, and we went to the specific cafe. We've been to it before, but we went to this one again on that specific day because it had a little play area, and we even sat at the table that was, you know, right in front of it. So then, you know, she wouldn't be timid to play by herself. We thought that she'll be alright. No, she didn't want to go play by herself. There were kids there playing, but she just did not want to. She was too shy, too timid, and I just feel like it was because, you know, we just didn't really encourage her to go play by herself. I mean, maybe it could just be a girl thing, I don't know. I remember being quite timid and shy growing up, so it could just be a gene thing. But yeah, she's very timid. She does not like men at all. Even like family, the only man in our family that she's okay with is Idris's closest brother, but his other brothers she's not really that comfortable with, and she's not even, like, she cries every time she sees Idris's nephew and one of his good friends too, which she sees all the time, but she's just so afraid of him. And then she's afraid of other men that would, like, strangers from, in the shops. Independency for this baby is another thing I want to try and encourage. And last but not least, baby monitor. It's nothing really, I don't even know if I should include it. I did speak about it in a previous video anyway, but I'll just say it again. A baby monitor, we actually got one already. We don't really need one for this house because our bedroom is right by our living room, but I just want to be able to see them when they're sleeping. So if they are like oversleeping, or I think I heard something, I can just look in the video and see rather than opening the door to check and then waking them up. So yeah, we ended up getting a baby monitor. Also, another reason why I felt like we should get one anyway is obviously because I want to try and combine their naps. to be at the same time. So obviously they're going to be in the room together. I want to be able to see them to make sure that Eleanor's not disturbing him if she wakes up. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, just because I just want to be able to see, even though I can hear, but sometimes I'm paranoid and I think I heard something, or they're sleeping longer than usual and I start to panic. I want to see if they're okay, but every time I open that door to check, they wake up. And that's pretty much all I have listed. I've had this list going on for a while and I haven't added anything new since then. So yeah, that's pretty much all the things that I hope to do with baby number 2. I guess only time will tell if these things do fall through. If you haven't already, then subscribe so you can stay up to date on how things turn out. I'm not sure if you end up seeing this video after the baby is born or before. I've already scheduled a whole bunch of videos and everything like that for the next month essentially. I just can't remember what dates they all are. It's all over the place in my head, but I have it all written down. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button to follow my journey with being a mother of 2, and turn on that notification bell if you don't want to miss out on any videos, and check me out on Instagram and give me a follow if you want to see more fashion content. Bye.